There's like the ballistic coefficient, right? There's the lift-to-drag ratio. And
Garrett Reisman's Friday morning lecture is part textbook,
if I knew that NASA was like using those equations,
part real-life experience.
I would never strap into that rocket. Hey, come on.
The two-time International Space Station visitor is training the next generation of wannabe astronauts at USC, which has a long list of alumni going outside Earth's orbit.
Neil Armstrong and the time he spent here at USC literally hangs over the program because we've got a big statue of him right out in the courtyard. So when our students see somebody that's one of them stepping into that rocket and strapping in and flying off into space, it's a real powerful motivator.
Garrett's course is not for the layman.
This point has to be on both orbits, right?
And even if the equations come easy, standing out to NASA isn't so simple.
The mistake that most people make is thinking that there's one correct way to do this and forcing themselves into a mold.
But a career in space is more possible than ever, Garrett says, thanks to a booming space economy.
We have dozens and dozens of companies at all different levels of the supply chain working to send people into space because of this kind of new resurgence of we're going back to the moon. We're talking about maybe going to Mars with people.
And many of his students are landing jobs at companies like SpaceX, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, or smaller firms that are part of Southern California's Space Beach.
Companies will come to us and we become that key element of research.
Dave Barnhart is the director of the USC Space Engineering Research Center. Its student-designed experiments have flown aboard the International Space Station, and others have evolved into startups, now contracting with NASA.
If we can do hands-on projects and get skill levels available for students now that they don't have to learn basically on the job once they go out, that means hopefully the uptake within those industries would go.
Retrograde is opposite.
For Professor Reisman's students, they still have a few years to study up until NASA opens the next round of astronaut applications.
The secret to becoming an astronaut is bring cookies to the interview. No.
And though he hopes he can give them the edge to stand out, he knows they'll be just fine wherever they land.
Exactly. So what it's going to do is it's going to tilt